Coach is Matt Jensen, or was Matt Jensen. I fired his ass because he did a shit job during the contest prep. I lost 10 pounds of muscle. I might put up pictures throughout the video so you could see how bad the fuck up was. People are criticizing Nick, and listen, like, we're public figures, so, you know, criticism is fair. However, you're telling me his coach didn't realize something was off? Oh, his body's not responding? You just realized his body wasn't responding, bro? Like, his body wasn't responding at 14 weeks out, 12 weeks out, 10 weeks out. At what point do you realize, oh shit, this isn't gonna work? He has told this shit to, I can confirm, I'm not gonna throw names under the bus because, you know, I'm not trying to bring people in like that, but I can confirm at least 11 other people that he's told had fake gear because things didn't turn out the way that it should have.
The onus does, at the end of the day, fall on the coach because that's what you have them for. Otherwise, why do you have a coach? So he's trusting you. He's paying you to be 100% there to guide him on the right path so that he looks his best on the stage. And Matt Jensen didn't do that. Matt Jensen failed Quinton Beastwood. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Muscle Discord. And this is my reaction to Quinton Beastwood's trashing of Matt Jensen that just released literally 5 hours ago. This is Sunday, October 20th that I'm recording this. So this is happening today. I'm just jumping on this as quickly as I can to give you guys my reaction, what I think, breaking down all the different points that he makes about Matt Jensen and some of the other athletes he's working with. Now, warning, I do have a cold, so I may cough, I may sneeze, I may make a sniffling sound, and my voice probably sounds a little bit different. But anyways, so let's jump into I got some clips here, so you guys don't have to watch the whole thing that Quinton put out. It's over 20 minutes, so I kind of broke it down a little bit for you guys. And I want to start off first with, Quinton really just going in on Matt and saying, I fired this guy. Let's just go watch the clip, and we'll stop it and react after that.
My coach is Matt Jensen, or was Matt Jensen. I fired his ass because he did a shit job during the contest prep. And I was criticized about firing him. People were like, well, why did you fire him? You should have given him another chance. Listen, motherfucker, I was worse than I was 2 years ago. I took all that time, I made all these sacrifices, and these sacrifices come in many shapes and forms. I lost money because I'm paying for whatever it takes to be a great bodybuilder. I put in money, I invested money into this, I invested my time, my energy, I wasn't going out. I was a fucking bodybuilding robot. All I did was bodybuild. That's all I fucking did. I worked my fucking tail off.
Wow.
All to show up to stage and be fucking smaller. Now, when it first happened, people thought, oh, it's something wrong with him because this guy gets it right with every client. Now, let me tell you the difference between a great coach and somebody that's just a great marketer, because I don't believe that you can be a great coach. Like, if you have a guy like me and you fuck up that badly, like, okay, guys, like, this isn't like you just kind of missed. It's not like, okay, shit, we came in with the added size, but we just were a little too soft in the glutes. Or, stomach was a bit bloated from, maybe the carb up was too aggressive. This was not that. That's the kind of error that is okay, but I lost 10 pounds of muscle. I might put up pictures throughout the video so you could see.
Yeah, let's jump on in there. And now it says I lost 20 pounds of solid muscle. He puts it on after. Maybe that's what he meant. But, Quinton's right. How the hell do you lose 20 pounds of solid tissue on a client that you were progressively bulking up over 315 to 320 pounds, and then you lose muscle tissue as you're dieting him down as this professional coach with all this experience. How do you do that? How is that even possible? How did you fuck up that bad? And that's what Quinton is pointing out here. He's like, I just trusted the process. I just put everything in your hands and I followed the process because you have all this hype. You have all these clients. You're this big name in the industry. And then you do this to me? So I understand Quinton's reaction. I understand his response. I think it's definitely warranted.
How bad the fuck up was. But I lost weight that I had no business losing. And I was leaner years before. Like 2 years ago, I was leaner, 10 pounds heavier than I was this year. And it's just the human body works in different ways for everybody. Now, for a guy like me, and I need to take accountability for some of this because I was willing to do whatever. I'm one of those.
That's good. This is a reaction video, so I'm going to react to when I hear things. That is good that Quinton is taking accountability, because at the end of the day, you are a grown-ass man. And at the end of the day, you know you're losing muscle. You should know that you're losing some size here. Like, you know what you look like in the mirror. You know, like, hey man, I don't fucking think this is working. Like, I'm getting skinny here. What's going on? Why am I getting so skinny? Quinton, did you ask Matt Jensen when you started to lose muscle tissue and to notice like, hey, I'm not as big as I think I should be here. I look smaller compared to photos previous years. Did you question, like, at some point, you know, if you're with somebody and they're guiding you through life and, you know, you lose an arm or something, you notice your arm is gone. You do something, right? You like, man, you made me lose my arm. I got chopped off or something. Like, you know, something's happening. You should, as a adult, know to be like, okay, hey, Matt, I'm trusting you here, but something's off. Quinton, did you ever question Matt Jensen throughout this process? Or did you just blindly, completely let him literally destroy your physique? You know, I'm not going to just jump on Matt Jensen. He's also responsible as well.
Stupid fucking clients. Like, I just listen. If I trust you as my coach, I listen to everything you say. Like, okay, we're going to do it. And I trusted his reputation and I trusted his expertise because I thought he knew what he was doing. When in fact, listen, he must have never worked with somebody like me. I don't know. But I thought it was just a me thing. And I definitely took it a little bit personal because he gaslit me after it. And he said that my gear was fake. Yes, guys, he told me my gear was fake.
So that is, okay, where I take issue with Matt Jensen in saying the whole my gear is fake thing as an excuse for him fucking up. Like, that's a cop-out by Matt Jensen. And that's just wrong. You don't, as a coach, you should know, hey, this, you're not popping, you're not looking juiced up here, something's wrong. You know, I think you got fake gear. You should know that 3, 4, 5 weeks into it, not all the way out to the end of the show. And then you get to the stage part. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, you know, it's probably fake gear. Come on, Matt Jensen. You're better than that. That's your cop out to say it's fake gear. Come on, bro.
It wasn't the 2 hours of fucking cardio that I was doing because you were afraid I wasn't going to show up in shape. It wasn't the 2 hours of cardio. It was my gear was fake. Now, there's your accountability after. And people are wondering why I fired him. I'm like, well, how do you continue to work with someone when you can't agree on what the problem was? The problem was It was a miscalculation. You know, it was a complete miscalculation for weeks, months of the prep. You know, just pushing, ignoring feedback of my knees being hurt and, you know, not being able to get a pump in the gym. Like, I was operating just off of passion for bodybuilding and my love for the sport. And I just had that, like, I had that fire in me. So even as bad as I felt, I'm the kind of person that, because I love doing this, that passion drives me. When I had no energy to do anything, that passion would wake me up at 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m. That passion would wake me up and I'd hit 3 rounds of posing, sent him to my posing coach, and my posing coach was.
You can see it here. He's a little bit emotional. He's like, he did put everything into this. I actually interviewed Quinton before he did the New York Pro. I think it was like 3 weeks out or something, if I can remember correctly. And he was all in. He was dieted down. He was, he was confident. So that also tends to be like, if you've lost that much tissue at the 3 or 4 week mark out, you mark out from a show, you should know that. But he was confident going into the show. That's why we're all like predicting he might win this thing. Right? He was posting progress pictures. He's posted all this video. Like he was posting. If you didn't know yourself that you were down in that much muscle tissue, then why were you posting so many progress photos as if you were confident going into the New York Pro? That's where you have to, yes, you could throw Matt Jensen under the bus, but you also have to think about Quinton. You were also posting a lot of photos. Did you not see it? We started to notice it like 2 weeks out. We're like, man, you're looking a little lanky here. You're looking a little skinny for a big man. And that's when I started to notice it. But I really didn't notice it 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out. You were looking huge and lean. And we're like, okay, yeah, man, this guy could win the New York Pro. He could beat Nick Walker. That was starting to be the talk. So I'm just pointing these things out to you guys as my reaction is that there's 2 sides to this. And there's a side where Quinton was very confident going into the New York Pro. And there wasn't any issues that I was seeing at 4, 5, 6 weeks out from the show. It's at the 2 week out mark where I was like, this guy is overdoing it. He's getting skinny.
Joey Belt he was incredible, man. He was there for me. He was there for me every step of the way from a point that him and I started working together. We got really close. And anyways.
Now, I think this is where he goes into the Nick Walker part of it as well.
I'm getting carried away. I'm making this video because Nick did not make it to the Olympia.
Yeah.
Nick didn't make it to the Olympia, guys.
Another casualty.
People are going to criticize him, as I was criticized heavily too for my appearance at the show. People are criticizing Nick, and listen, like, we're public figures, so criticism is fair. However, you're telling me his coach didn't realize something was off? Oh, his body's not responding? You just realized his body wasn't responding, bro? Like, his body wasn't responding at 14 weeks out, 12 weeks out, 10 weeks out. At what point do you realize, oh shit, this isn't gonna work? So that's the thing. It was the same problem with me, to where when you're a client, when you're a solid client like I am, and like I know Nick is, you're just locked in doing your work. You're just doing your fucking job.
And I agree. I understand that. So that answers my question to Quinton is, did you not notice anything? Did you not feel anything that was wrong? And what Quinton is saying, like me and Nick Walker, we just lock in. We don't question. We just go. We trust the process, even if it feels wrong, I guess, or we see something's not happening with our physiques. We just listen because maybe that's part of the process. So I'm guessing would be Quinton's answer if I could ask him. That's kind of why he did what he did, and he didn't notice, and he was confident posting photos, etc., even though he came out with this terrible result.
Your coach is telling you look great. This is the year. You're going to do it. You're going to be great, whatever. Your coach is telling you this shit. You believe it. So sometimes as a bodybuilder, like,
yeah,
I'm like a 310 pounder, and like, I always think that I'm small. I always think that I could be bigger. Now, some people are going to hear me say that and understand it because they feel that way about themselves. Some people are just going to think I'm crazy, but it's just normal with bodybuilding. And that's why a lot of people don't coach themselves, because it's hard to be completely objective as a bodybuilder. But that being said, when you have a coach and when you really trust in a coach, your coach is your set of eyes. So if something's wrong, your coach is supposed to point it out.
That's true.
His coach didn't point it out.
That's true. That's what you have a coach for, to say, hey man, you're getting a little too stringy here. Let's up the carbs, right? You're already lean enough. Let's up the carbs or something. Let's pull back on the cardio. That's right. That's correct. That's what he pays Matt Jensen for, to be those eyes and ears, because he doesn't trust himself as an athlete. He just said that. So that's why I hire a coach. So the onus does, at the end of the day, fall on the coach, because that's what you have them for. Otherwise, why do you have a coach? So he's trusting you. He's paying you to be 100% there to guide him on the right path so that he looks his best on the stage. And Matt Jensen didn't do that. Matt Jensen failed Quinton Beastwood in that regard.
You know, so from people that I know that saw what he looked like, they said that he was better off pulling out. They said that's how bad he looked, that he made the best decision by pulling out. And to me, if you have a high-level athlete and you can't even bring them into the show because of whatever the fuck you put them through, or because you failed to notice something, especially when the guy moved to your fucking state, to your city, like, guy's right there. You know what I'm saying? It lets me realize the problem that I had wasn't personal. Like, this guy's just not locked in. You know, he's not locked in.
Yeah, I think Matt Jensen might be locked in on his cycling career, riding, you know, being a cyclist. I think he's more locked in on that now, because we're going to move into the next part here where he thinks he was duped by Matt Jensen. Let me find it here.
Hype. To me, the hype was bought into the fucking hype. To me, the hype was fake. I think he is a smart guy. I think the problem is his ability to adapt. Adaptability as a coach, like, terrible. Garbage. Like, when you see my body flattening out and you're a high level
That's
coach,
what I've been saying earlier.
maybe you don't know how to deal with it perfectly, but like, troubleshoot, you know, like,
pull the cardio
Instead,
back.
kept pushing and then just tried to gaslight me. And for me, that's what I don't respect. And I bet you, listen, I haven't asked Nick what the actual problem was. I just know what everybody else knows. I know the rumors of fake here. I'm telling you, he has told this shit to, I can confirm. I'm not gonna,
And I believe Quinton on
the
that.
bus, because, you know, I'm not trying to bring people in like that, but
You can tell he's being honest.
People that he's told had fake gear because things.
So that seems to be Matt Jensen's kind of go-to, is when the client doesn't do well. It's like, oh, you had fake gear. It's not me, man. Your gear was shit. And like 11 other people said the same thing. I mean, come on.
Didn't turn out the way that it should have. But Shaun Clarida, he made an excuse after prejudging. Matt made an excuse about Shaun, saying the judges asked for that. No, the judges didn't ask for the guy to be fucking flat.
Agreed. That wasn't to be over dieted and to have lost, again, muscle tissue. The same thing that happened to Quinton happened to Shaun Clarida. He lost muscle tissue. That's not what the judges wanted. They just wanted that waist to come in more streamlined. And I guess Matt Jensen, the only way he knew to do that was to make him lose muscle tissue, which was going to be the opposite effect of what the judges want. Because you got to compete with someone like Keon, who's bigger than you. That's not going to work. So, I don't know. Matt Jensen as a coach right now does not look good. It's not a good look. And this whole fake gear excuse thing and the trend line with the athletes, and it does make sense. It does make sense now with Nick Walker. And I know Dave Palumbo, RX Muscle, also said maybe it was fake gear, and maybe Dave had heard something on the inside already about that and kind of put that out there. That was the excuse. I don't think it's fake gear. Like you know when you take that, you know the pump's there, you feel it. Nick Walker has been on this shit a long time. Why all of a sudden is he getting fake gear? Like, you know, as a pro, you know where to get your shit from the good sources. So I don't think that has anything to do with why Nick Walker looks like shit. I think as Matt Jensen, as his coach, they should not have waited for 7 days out from the Olympia to announce that he's out of the show. 6 weeks out, 10 weeks out, that just shit's not working. But 7 days out, you decide to pull out? Again, terrible on both Matt Jensen and Nick Walker or at least for Nick Walker to even allow Matt Jensen to make that decision and let it get so close to the Olympia when they both knew ahead of that they weren't going to be doing the Olympia, but they left it to the last minute, which is, it's not very professional. But again, Matt Jensen seems to be on a downward trajectory, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Now, I want you to leave a comment below. Okay, there's two sides to this. Is Matt Jensen in the right? where he's just using the excuse of fake gear? Or is Quinton in the right to blame it solely on Matt Jensen by saying, you should have known better. You should have seen what was happening with my physique. You should have seen that I was losing size quickly and should have adapted. You should have changed. It did something to help me because I'm paying you as my coach to do this. And you didn't. So I'm blaming you. Right? Now, Quinton does take a little bit of accountability, but at the end of the day, he trusted 100% in the process. And that's what he should do. If you're going to hire someone, that's what you should do. So I'm on Quinton Beastwood's side here at the end of the day. I think he did an amazing job in explaining what happened. And he did the right thing in firing Matt Jensen. And I think Shaun Clarida should take a hard look at Matt Jensen. I think Nick Walker is not going to leave Matt Jensen because he's with Raw. Matt Jensen's a part of Raw Nutrition. They probably ain't going to split ways now because that ain't going to happen. So Nick's kind of stuck with Matt Jensen. I can't see him going with anyone else but Matt Jensen. So Nick's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And we'll just leave it there. But leave a comment below. Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? And do you still think that Quinton should find a coach? I think Quinton gets in his head, and I think he should have a coach. I think Boss of Outlaw obviously has proven himself with multiple different types of athletes, types of physique, classic physique, to open, to like he's done every type of physique, Quinton. So Quinton, if you're watching this, probably will watch this. If you watch this, Boss of Outlaw makes the most sense for you to get on with the coach. I don't think you should go to Kuwait. I don't think you need to do that. They're just going to pump you full of whatever over there, so you don't need to do that. You already got enough size for the most part. You just need to get a little bit bigger, but Boss of Outlaw, as you see what he did with Martin Fitzwater, everyone he touches turns to gold. So I would go with Boss of Outlaw, Stefan. Probably have the best support with him. He's very detailed in everything he does. He's very open and honest. He tells you he's very in good communication with his athletes. So, guys, if he needs to choose a coach, who should he choose? Boss of Outlaw, Hani Rambod might take him now that he's kind of struggling with his athletes in the sense of he doesn't have a Mr. Olympia under his belt anymore. Both HADI and Derek fell off the throne. Yeah, he had C-Bum, but C-Bum's retired now. So maybe he's like, I'll take on a new client here now. That would be interesting. All right, guys, remember to like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your opinion below. I love to hear your feedback and you have your thoughts on this whole, Quinton basically throwing Matt Jensen under the bus. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.